When Damon Black turned 34, he expected maybe a quiet text or a call, nothing grand. Instead, he woke up to a photo of his entire family vacationing in Spain, without him. No warning, no excuse. Just a cruel laugh from his brother. Nobody gives a damn about your birthday. That was the moment Damon decided to go silent. What they didn't realize was how much they depended on the quiet one, the fixer, the ghost behind every login and lock. Over the next few weeks, Damon unraveled everything they took for granted. Their rental income, their digital lifelines, their control. He didn't scream. He didn't fight. He just stopped helping. By the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. Airbnb suspended. Guests locked out. Lawsuits threatened. And 26 missed calls later, the family who once laughed at him was now begging for him to pick up the phone. He didn't. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest revenge. I turned 34 alone. No cake. No candle. No phone call. Not even a lazy text. Just silence and a burning pit in my stomach. My name's Damon Black. And on the morning of my birthday, I discovered through an Instagram story that my entire family had flown to Spain without telling me. I wasn't just excluded. I was erased. They toasted cocktails on the beach. Mom, Dad, my brother Eli, my sister Serena, even ancient Aunt Ramona, all clinking glasses in one of those tacky boomerangs, smiles beaming under a caption that said, "Family trip clinking glasses son," like some goddamn slap in the face. I stared at the photo for 10 minutes. Not because I couldn't believe it, but because I could. I texted the family group chat. "Nice vacation. Thanks for the invite." Nothing. I checked the timestamp. They posted it that morning. They hadn't even tried to hide it. I called Eli. He picked up, half drunk, wind and waves whipping in the background. "You all flew to Spain without telling me?" I asked, voice flat. I needed to hear it. He laughed. Actually laughed. "Nobody gives a damn about your birthday, Damon. Get over it." I swallowed hard. Said, "Thanks for reminding me where I stand." He kept laughing. I hung up. And in that moment, I stopped being the person who waits around for people to care. Something inside me shifted. It wasn't rage. Not yet. It was a slow, calculated withdrawal. A shattering silence, like the breath before the blade drops. For context, my family has never been the warm, cuddly type. We don't hug. We don't say "I love you." And still, this was something else. This wasn't just neglect. It was surgical, intentional, a purge. They always treated me like the optional sibling. I was the one who fixed the Wi-Fi, who remembered passwords, who got the email unstuck. I was never the fun one, or the loud one, or the dramatic one. That was Eli and Serena. I was just Damon, the background tech guy, the family's glorified butler with a motherboard. And yet, I showed up. Every time. Not anymore. I stopped calling. Stopped texting. I muted every group chat. Watched from a distance like I was staring at a crime scene I used to live in. But they didn't stop needing me. A week later, a text from Eli. "Can you check the Wi-Fi at Mom's?" No apology. No acknowledgement. Just orders. I ignored it. He called. I let it ring. Then Mom messaged, "Hope you're well. The Wi-Fi is acting up." Still no mention of the trip. No explanation. No remorse. I let her rot and read receipts. When I didn't respond, they got desperate. The family chat started flooding again, not with concern, but demands. Smart locks glitching. Dad can't get into his email. The Airbnb won't update. Still, nobody asked how I was doing. Nobody brought up Spain. It was like I had vanished from their emotional map, but they still wanted my hands when the plumbing burst. So I showed them what absence really felt like. Their Airbnb? I set it up. The listing, the access, the lock codes, even the fallback systems. All tied to my account. My number. My digital leash. And now? I cut the cord. Guests started texting me directly. "Hi. We can't get in. Are you the contact for the rental?" I ignored them. Then came the fallout. Dad's voicemails got tighter, shorter. "Damon, we need to talk." Aunt Ramona even texted. Aunt Ramona, who thinks smartphones are a Chinese spy plot. "Can you please help your parents? They're stressed." No. I ordered pizza. Watched them drown. Eli finally came to my apartment. He didn't knock. He pounded, like a cop with a warrant. I opened the door an inch and saw that look in his eyes. The same one he had when we were kids, and he'd just smashed something of mine. Calculated, unapologetic, smug. "What the hell is your problem?" he barked. "You tell me," I said. He shoved the door. Hard. I slammed it back in his face. I heard him curse, slap the wood, stomp down the hallway like a child denied a toy. Later, Serena messaged me. "You're making this harder than it has to be." I blocked her. Then Eli. Then Mom. One by one, I unplugged. The silence was beautiful. Then came the fallout. Guests locked out. Reviews tanked. Airbnb flagged the account. Lost bookings. Cleaners walked out. Complaints piled up. One guest slept in their car. Another threatened legal action. I didn't do anything. That's the point. I didn't do a thing. But they made me the villain. Milana said I was tearing the family apart. Henry said I was acting like a psycho. Mom begged me in a voicemail. "Please, Damon, we need you." But where were they when I needed them? Standing on a beach. Glasses raised. Laughing. I changed the locks on my heart that day. And the code? Only I know it now. They thought it would pass. That I'd cool off. That eventually I'd come crawling back, password in one hand, apology in the other. But this time I didn't. I didn't need to. Because the one thing they always relied on, their precious infrastructure, their Airbnb cash cow, the digital scaffolding of their middle-class fantasy, I built it. Every inch of it. And now I was watching it burn. From the comfort of my couch. With a beer in my hand. The first ripple was a missed check-in. A guest stood outside the property, unable to get in. The smart lock refused their code. I'd set up the two-factor system months ago for security. Now it was their trap. They messaged Airbnb support. Airbnb flagged the account. Ronald, my father, tried logging in. But the verification prompt went to my phone. "Good luck, Dad." By the third day, the listing was labeled inactive due to repeated access failures. They were bleeding. Slowly. But I wanted them to feel it. Calls. Messages. More of them. Marla, my mother, who once told me, "You can't expect people to celebrate you all the time," when I brought up being left out. She texted, "Please, Damon. People are threatening to sue. This is serious." I left her on read. Then came Serena. Voice notes. Shaky breaths. Panic attacks. Accusations. "You're ruining our family. You're doing this for attention. Mom's blood pressure is out of control." I nearly laughed. This was the same Serena who posted "Family First Red Heart" while I watched from my tiny apartment, eating leftover noodles on my birthday. No, this was justice. Or at least the closest thing to it I'd ever get. Then Eli showed up again. This time angrier. He didn't knock. He kicked the door. I opened it. "You're being a child," he spat, shoving me backward. That was a mistake. I slammed him into the hallway wall, arm across his chest. "Touch me again," I said, "and you won't walk back out." He froze. His eyes, once so smug, flickered with something else. Fear. He mumbled curses as I pushed him outside and shut the door behind him. I heard him shouting. Then silence. Then footsteps fading. After that, it escalated. They tried everything. Blocked numbers started texting. Burner emails. Airbnb guests. A neighbor. Even a call from a shared family friend pretending it was just a check-in. They were drowning, and I was the only one who knew where the rope was. And I wasn't throwing it. The Airbnb listing got suspended. Permanently. No more bookings. Thousands lost. I watched it all play out like a war I wasn't in, but one I had the launch codes to. They had counted on me to run their lives behind the scenes. The ghost in the system. The robot, as they used to joke. Now, the robot had gone dark. And the system? Collapsing. Aunt Ramona, always so diplomatic and detached, left a voicemail. "You need to stop this, Damon. Family comes first." Funny. Family didn't come first when they left me behind. When they toasted under a foreign sun like I didn't exist. When they watched me grow up as the quiet one, the background noise, the fixer with no feelings. They made this bed. Now they get to lie in the shards. Eli tried playing victim. Posted vague stories on Instagram. Can't trust anyone these days. Some people are poison. And of course, the ultimate irony. Blood doesn't mean loyalty. I almost clapped. He blocked me years ago, but his stories still made their way to me through mutual friends. The same friends he was now telling I was mentally unstable, that I was spiraling. Sure, Eli, keep telling them that. The only thing spiraling is your revenue stream. The final blow came when a neighbor called the cops on the Airbnb house. Noise complaints. Trash overflow. Guests stranded, angry, furious. One of them even filed a formal complaint with Airbnb claiming they'd been scammed. Airbnb didn't take it lightly. They deactivated the listing, labeled it unsafe, froze the payout. The family's emergency fund, gone. Poof. A summer ruined. A reputation trashed. All because the optional sibling opted out. Then the real kicker, Ronald called. The man who had sat silently through every insult Eli ever threw my way. Who watched me disappear into the background of family life like a stain they couldn't be bothered to scrub. He left a voicemail that dripped disappointment like acid. Damon, you need to fix this. You're tearing everything apart. No, Dad. You did that. You just didn't realize how much glue I was holding. They kept trying. They still are. But I'm not replying. The story they wrote for me, quiet son, tech support, uncomplaining ghost, I've torn it up. And I've started writing my own. The final act is coming. They thought I was petty. They haven't seen what real consequences look like yet. Thank you. Here's the final part of the reimagined story, sharpened to its most brutal edge, where reckoning meets silence. I didn't plan to destroy them. I just planned to disappear. But when they called me a ghost, they forgot what ghosts do best. Haunt the living. I woke up to 26 missed calls. Not a metaphor. Not an exaggeration. I counted each one like bullet holes on a wall. Aunt Ramona, Serena, Eli, Ronald, Marla, unknown numbers, Airbnb notifications, even their cleaner. I didn't answer a single one. The group chat, once dead quiet, was now an all-out war zone. Texts stacked like bricks. Serena, Mom is crying every day. She hasn't eaten. Eli, if you don't fix this, I swear to God. Marla, please, Damon. People are threatening to sue. Dad, you're acting like a child. I'm disappointed. Oh, Dad, you were always disappointed. Just never disappointed in them. I made coffee. Black. No sugar. No pity. Then I played one voicemail. It was Marla. Her voice cracked, held together with years of lies and maternal guilt. The Airbnb is dead, Damon. We've lost all the bookings. Guests are saying we scammed them. We can't even get into clean. Everyone's asking what happened. I'm so ashamed. She said that word like it was a foreign language. Ashamed. It must have tasted like glass in her mouth. Good. They kept escalating. When guilt didn't work, they tried rage. Eli, I'm done playing nice. I'll come over every day if I have to. Serena, you're killing Mom. Aunt Ramona, you're cruel. This isn't what family does. Oh, what family does is fly to Spain and toast while their son eats takeout alone. What family does is laugh in your ear as they erase you from existence. What I'm doing is called balance. Eli made good on his threat. He showed up again. This time I was ready. He pounded the door. I didn't answer. He screamed my name. I didn't blink. When he started kicking, I opened it slowly. Calm. Steady. He tried to rush in. I put one palm to his chest and shoved him so hard. He stumbled backward into the stair railing. You touch this door again, I said, and I swear you'll leave with less teeth than you came with. He snarled like a dog too dumb to realize he's already been caged. He didn't try again. The final collapse happened quietly. A soft ping from my phone. Airbnb account. Deactivated due to repeated security failures and guest complaints. The property was blacklisted. Permanently. Their income? Gone. Their reputation? Scorched. I hadn't lifted a finger. That was the best part. I didn't hack anything. Didn't change passwords. Didn't break a single law. I just stopped helping. And it turns out, that was their greatest vulnerability. The neighbor called next. One I actually liked. She whispered like she didn't want the walls to hear her. Hey, just a heads up. Cops showed up. Someone reported the house as abandoned and possibly scamming guests. They're saying your family might get fined. Is everything okay? I smiled. Everything's perfect, I said. And it was. For once. They begged, cried, threatened, offered money, said they'd do better. But not once, not one goddamn time, did anyone say the words that would have mattered. I'm sorry. They never apologized for erasing me. They just wanted me back in my cage. Plugged in. Compliant. Useful. Screw that. The last message I allowed to get through was from Ronald. The patriarch. The ghost who lived in his recliner. Who let Eli run wild because discipline was too much trouble. His text was simple. You win. No period. Just surrender. I didn't reply. I just watched the phone screen dim to black. Here's what people don't understand. Silence is not weakness. It's restraint. And when someone finally uses that silence like a blade, you bleed before you even know you've been cut. They'll never forget this summer. Not because of Spain, but because it was the season the machine stopped humming. The lights went out, and the ghost they created came home. Am I proud of it? No, but I'm not sorry either. And if you think that makes me the villain, then you've never spent your birthday watching your own family laugh on a beach without you. Sometimes the monster they fear is just the mirror they ignored, and now they have to live with it. Not me. Not anymore.